Sailing these America's Cup boats is like tuning a musical instrument. If all is not in fine tune, then anything can happen. Well, it did this week for the British America's Cup challengers, as the boat suddenly launched itself out of the water, leaping skyward. We bet that increased the crew's heart rate.
It seemed to get a little loose. We saw a big skyrocket with both foils out of the water. Any idea what happened at that point?
Well, again, we pushed through the day more and more. We were quite conscious at the beginning and just making sure taking care of the gear, and then you push more and more, and you get into a bit more into racing scenarios, and one mistake here, one there, but I think everything was okay. We did a kind of a jump, but nothing broke, and we kept sailing, so it was good.
You did sail, the team sailed straight away afterwards. It was a little bit of a surprise to us. Will the boat will get a check over as it does every night? Is there any particular worry after an incident like that?
No, I think it was quite spectacular, as you say, but it didn't hit very hard, the water, when it came down, and they didn't report any noises or any. Of course, will be checked and all that floor area, but I think it was all good.
In Auckland, local video shooter Justin Mitchell is once again the man on the spot, as the Emirates Team New Zealand's jib exploded at the tack in 19 knots of wind, as it was under extreme load. Luckily, no one was hurt. This is your weekly Global Sailing Highlights show, The World on Water, for April 21, 2023. Golden Globe Sailor Ian Herbert-Jones was rescued from his crippled yacht Puffin last week, and he is on a Taiwanese fishing boat headed to Cape Town. He was slightly battered, and the transfer went well. This is his first call to Don McIntyre at race headquarters in France. Puffin, we believe, is adrift in the South Atlantic.
Yep, okay, so how long can you talk for?
Oh, well, a couple of minutes, I guess. I'm on the captain's sat phone now.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you're okay then, that's the main thing.
I'm good, mate. I'm okay, yeah. A bit bruised and battered. First thing when I got on board, the person checked me over and strapped up my shoulder. My shoulders are black and blue, and I've got probably have a nice couple of little scars on my forehead. My head took a bit of bashing, but other than that, I'm pretty good. Yeah. In fact, I've just stripped all the plasters off this morning and had a shower, so I'm in good shape.
Okay. Hey, listen, a sideline thing. If you can film everything you can on your phone, or see if the crew have got a phone or something, because there's a lot of interest. I know it looks like you lost all your SIM cards on the boat. Is that right?
Well, no, not quite. No, I lost everything apart from the one bag that I managed to strap to myself, which is like the Essentials bag. Because when the rescue happened, it was really fast and furious because the guys weren't able to communicate beforehand until the ship was effectively on top of me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't clear that it was going to be successful the first time. So it was a bit do or die, and it happened real fast. So my main sort of kit with all my logs and stuff I had to leave behind. Well, I brought all my SIM cards. I brought all my SIM cards because I had them in a different pouch.
Oh, so you have got all your films and everything.
I have got the films. Yeah, I've just left unfortunately, I lost all my logs and all my personal gear and stuff like that I'm behind.
Yeah.
Because it just happened. It just wasn't appropriate, Don. It was. Trust me, it was really, really touch and go.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got off, and then the crew here have put together. I've gathered up a bunch of films that they took. So as soon as I can, they've got very limited access off the boat. As soon as I can, I'll start to get them to share stuff across. So,
well, the main thing is just to recover them. We don't need copies here now, but just when you get off the ship. And glad to hear you got the footage. That's the main thing.
Yeah. So I got that. I managed to keep hold of that. But I've got my passport, my wallet, my phone, my watch, and that was it. That was kind of a lot. I got one change of clothes.
Yeah.
So, but you tell Jane I'm a good Asian boy here. I'm having rice 3 times a day. I've got my rice and kimchi for breakfast. So I'm in with the scene.
Yeah.
It's all that was all good. But it was all pretty fast and furious, mate.
Yeah, I can imagine.
In the end, there wasn't time for anything.
Yeah. What was the sea state? How big was it at the time? We were figuring about 4 meters or something and 25 knots.
That's right. Yeah, it was about 4 meters, 20. Well, he was going up and down. It was a good 20 to 25 knots at any given moment. The skipper did an amazing job, but it was not easy. Not easy.
So did you step from the boat onto the ladder? From the boat direct on the ladder on the side of the ship?
I did, yeah. Jumped to the pilot ladder, but only once we got ropes down to the boat, and the boat had been hit several times by that point.
Yeah, okay.
The whole crew was lining the deck. Managed to get onto the ladder, got 2 steps up on the ladder, and before I knew it, there was like 20 pairs of hands sort of dragging me over the side, you can imagine.
Yeah. Oh, they did a good job. That's fantastic, Yeah.
Yeah, they did. But the challenge, of course, was, because it may have got called off at the last second, of course, and it was obviously doing massive damage to the boat at that point.
Yeah.
So,
did you ever get the mast off the boat, or is it still hanging over the side?
Well, the mast is off, but no, it's possibly still hanging over the side because it's still attached to the forestays.
Yeah.
Because my last attempt at that, because the sea stay was still big, though, I got washed off the foredeck, mate, with my angle grinder. Literally got washed off. I went right through the pulpit.
Yeah.
And I'm literally just washed off. I thought, what am I doing? I'm out. I literally got a couple of hours before this boat turned up, and I'm going to...
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I retreated at that point. So, but what I did do is I managed to stop the mast or anything hitting the boat. So there was nothing hitting the boat at the time. So if I had to keep going for another 24, 48 or whatever hours, I was I was working through, sorting it out step by step, best I could do as the sea state improved.
Yeah.
Because I half expected a call that said, hey, that's been, they can't get to you. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You've got to hold out another 24 hours or another 48 hours. So I was prepping for that all the way along. And just trying to keep the boat out of water, trying to get the water out and stuff. But dude, I got mate. If it wasn't so dangerous, it would have been funny because suddenly there was there's a boat and then there's me hanging onto the pulpit and on the end of this tether line, which suddenly seemed a very, very long tether. I can tell you.
Yeah. Oh, they put you were hooked on with a line before you jumped onto the ladder.
Yeah, no, this is not. When I jumped onto the ladder to go onto the boat, no, I had to go. It's do or die at that moment, isn't it? So you have to go for it. That was when I was trying to cut the rigging off, the forestays off.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So
okay, so
I'm good.
Yep.
I'm good. They're looking after me. So Cape Town, ETA Cape Town is 8 a.m.
Yep.
On the 20th.
Okay.
8 a.m. on 20th.
There's a few. There's a few moves to try and put a Fathom cameraman on board about 4 hours before you hit port. They're trying to organise it now, so we'll see what happens. Just so you know, but just film everything. I mean, it's a great story. It's a sad loss, and we're really happy that you're okay. And everyone's sending. You should see the amount of people sending best regards on Facebook and stuff. Huge. So we're happy to see it all worked out well.
Yeah, Don, I mean, I'm to whatever I'm in now, 24, 48 hours in, so I'm starting to get normal, but I literally watched all my hopes and dreams just disintegrating in front of me.
I know, yeah, I can't imagine, but I can imagine.
Yeah, the bosun looked at me, and I knew he was the bosun, the guy on the deck. There's 45 crew on the deck, right, and there's one guy who was looking at me in the eyes.
Yeah.
And I knew he would be the bosun. I know that, he and I got the lines onto the Puffin.
Yeah.
Jesus, that was close. Got me off, and then as I got on the deck, he looked across the deck, across all the crew at me, and he just looked, and he nodded.
Yeah.
Should I let it go? And I said, yeah, and I just nodded at him. I didn't see anyone else, and he cut the line and let it go, and I was like,
Yeah.
Battered.
Yeah.
Right now, talking to you.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Yeah.
20th I should be there, but it sounds like they're already liaising on that, so that's cool. I'll be happy to see the guys from Puffin.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they'll be happy to hear you got the film. We thought you'd lost it.
Yeah, no, I've got that, and what film I've got, and the captain here has got a collection of films from the crew.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can get you at least a first snippet or something off.
Yeah. Well, the main thing, just you keep it with you and just get it back, thingo. But listen, just tell the captain and the crew. Everyone is saying they did a great job, and huge support for the work that the captain and crew did. And if you can pass that to the other two vessels as well, everyone's very impressed with what they did on the ship.
Wonderful. Okay, I'll pass that on to the captain.
Yeah, it's huge. They're all saying, wow, what an amazing ship, what an amazing company to allow 3 ships to come up, the Taiwanese government, everything. It's like really amazing stuff. So pass that to the captain from us.
Will do. And it's Taiwanese, right? Remember that?
Yeah, Taiwanese.
Ship, yeah. Taiwanese.
It is said watching sailing is like watching grass grow, but not in Palma last week, as the Ineos crew had a heart-thumping experience, as their boat decided to leap out of the Bay of Palma and launch itself skywards.
Xavi Fernandez, you've been in the coaching role today with the team here in Palma. It was pretty breezy this morning when we came down. Can you just talk about the weather scenario and how it's played out today?
Yeah, it was, straightforward but tricky for sailing for us. Very windy here in the city, as predicted, and then we went to check out the wind and was well into the 20s close here, and then going to Portals and going towards the lighthouse was lighter, and we decided to go and do a long tow towards Portals, hoist there, and then we had up to more or less like 12 knots in the top of the course, and then going down quite choppy and up to 18, 20 knots down in Calanova. What
were the goals for the team when they left the dock this morning? What did the guys in Brackley have them doing? Well, there's still plenty of things to go through the test list and validation and all these things. We've got this gear, kind of new gear in the boat as well, so just trying settings, all kind of scenarios, and I think we went through quite a lot in the list. Obviously it was tricky with the waves, and we had to adapt a little bit the plan, but it was a good day. When you say new gear, are you talking about the W foil, or is there something else? Yeah, I mean all these foils, the new foil we see in the last days, but I think it's the first day we sail in such a windy and wavy with that foil, and you always learn a lot. So a kind of normal day of practicing up and down, some tacks and jibes, some straight line stuff, and then the last hour, not sure if it got windier, but it seemed to get a little loose. We saw a big skyrocket with both foils out of the water. Any idea what happened at that point? Well, again, we pushed through the day more and more. We were quite conscious at the beginning and just making sure taking care of the gear, and then you push more and more, and you get more into racing scenarios, and one mistake here, one there, but I think everything was okay. We did a kind of a jump, but nothing broke, and we kept sailing, so it was good. You did sail, the team sailed straight away afterwards. It was a little bit of a surprise to us. Will the boat get a check over as it does every night? Is there any particular worry after an incident like that? No, I think it was quite spectacular, as you say, but it didn't hit very hard, the water, when it came down, and they didn't report any noises or any. Of course, will be checked and all that, floor area, but I think it was all good. Charles made a comment as he walked past that he was happy the rig was still in the boat. Is that a risk when you have those big crashes? Oh, it's when you have a kind of a loose day, it's good that everyone is okay and the boat is in one piece, yeah. And more of this tomorrow? Boat will be back out on the water? Yeah, well, we're not sure about the plan. Let's check the weather. I think it's northerly tomorrow, and it's going to be quite breezy as well. So I don't know. We've done 2 days in a row, and we'll have another couple of days this week. But let's see. We now need to do the capture and then do the planning for tomorrow or next sailing. That's great, Xavi. Thanks for sharing that with us. Thank you.
If you like this video, please subscribe, share, like, and check the uploads alerts bell. Racing for day one of the 47th Etchells Worlds in Miami was abandoned. The chance of severe storms was very high last Monday, with lightning strikes, squalls and possible waterspouts forecast to move across the racing area. After the cold front moved through overnight, Tuesday allowed some racing and the rest of the week was looking reasonable to allow for a successful championship.
Welcome to the Aon 2023 Etchells World Championship, hosted by Etchells Fleet 20, Biscayne Bay Yacht Club, Coral Reef Yacht Club, and Shake a Leg. Hi, I'm Ashley Love from T2P TV. Last night, 63 boats from 9 countries were greeted by the Zyke opening ceremony, complete with Bacardi rum bar and welcome speeches from Commodore Jeff Neems and Chris Lanza, our co-chairs of the event.
Thank you to all the sponsors, and thank you to the clubs who stood up to do this. Have a great time. We have parties every night, and really enjoy yourself. And thank you so much for qualifying and coming here. I want to thank my committee that has literally put this all together. It's been a lot of work. This has been a labor of love. More labor than love, trust me. Bye.
And Harry Horgan, the president of Shake a Leg.
At Shake a Leg, we believe there's healing and rejuvenating qualities out there in the water, and we're very proud to be partners with you guys with this world-class event. Our focus at Shake a Leg is to reach out and serve kids with disabilities, veterans, and inner-city kids. We hope that this event for you will be your best ever.
The Worlds are a very important event for our class and any class, really. It's a bringing and a coming together of the best racers from around the world. The boat's a very beautiful boat. The lines are fantastic. It was designed by Skip Etchells, I think, back in 1963 or so. So it's got a long history and therefore tradition. And I think sailors like both of those. It's tweaky, which means there's a lot of things you can do to adjust shrouds and stays and make the boat go faster, and if you get it wrong, the boat will go slower. So there's a lot of adjustments that need to be made on a constant basis. As the wind changes out on the water, you need to shift gears, and so that's a constant challenge. Over many, many years, we've seen that this boat attracts the best people for those reasons. The health of the Etchells class, I think we're stronger than ever. The U.S., as a new administration now, we're focused on developing the class and making it larger. We have special efforts in marketing and communications and developing youth in our class and inviting younger sailors to come on board. In Australia, we're building a new mold. Mold 12 should come online this year, which will allow a builder down in Australia so that the Southern Hemisphere will have a boat builder, and that should attract new boats and new owners, and we're looking good for the years ahead.
After months of preparation and practice, teams arrived this Monday morning to report into the competitors' briefing, complete with weather and current information from guru Chelsea Freyas. Her report on the approaching cold front was foreshadowing, because minutes later, PRO Dave Brennan, after much deliberation with his team, decided the chances of extreme thunderstorms and waterspouts was too high and canceled racing for the day. Join us tomorrow for the start of the Aon 2023 Etchells World Championship.
Geoff Brown, Technical Director of Pip Hare Ocean Racing, in this video shares an update on their Mocha Medallias refit as they head into week 16 and get ready for some big milestones, including putting the bulkhead in and closing the deck. After Guyot's hull delamination in the ocean race, this has also become a top priority check for their race boat.
Hi, we're down at Carrington Boats on Medallia. We're week 16 of the refit, so 6-8 weeks left to go. Come and have a look on board and we'll see what's been going on. So hopefully you can see some change since the last time. Effectively, nearly all of the structure around the lower foil case is now done. So you probably can't see much, but there's loads of little pieces of structure both above and below. But that is the bulk of the structural work done that supports the upper and lower bearing. What is remaining is to then fill in this, what's called the wet box, but that's effectively big panels that fill in this space to make it all waterproof, and they contain all the control lines for the up and down for the foils, and that also integrates our tunnel, which has all tack lines and furling lines coming through as it did before, but it's all just a bit modified. The next job is to sort of start on that, then there's the big bulkhead to go in, and then we can start closing the deck once that's all laminated. With the new foils, our slamming area for the boat has moved aft. So we're having to reinforce the back of the boat. You've probably seen boats like Goya have problems in the ocean race with that area. So we're doing quite big reinforcement back there to support the panels that wouldn't, when the boat was designed, wouldn't have seen the loads that they're going to see moving forwards. So here we are in the back of the boat where the guys have been adding some additional structure. So you can see that's a foam block. Then we've got here is an athwartship stringer. Basically all this is doing is dividing up this panel of hull, which was quite big, but now is going to be divided into 6 bits, 6 smaller bits, and therefore able to withstand the loads that it's going to be subjected to. And then the same thing is going on in this next compartment, where you can see they've over laminated the foam there. So Gary's just working on the ballast tank, lateral side ballast tanks, which we've reduced the volume of because with the increased righting moment of the foils, and the increased weight of the boat from the whole procedure, we basically need less righting moment. So we've reduced the volume of this tank here, which takes a bit of weight out in terms of the panel, and just makes these tanks well quicker and quicker to fill and empty, I guess. So when it's been possible, Susie and some guys from Osprey have been working on the electronics, so we've pretty much done a full rewire and have replaced quite a few of the components, mainly because a lot of the wiring was original, so you get corrosion on the wires and various other things, and there's a lot of unknowns. So it's best if we can start with a clean slate on the stuff that we can do. So we've done that, so that's all protected, and we're just trying to work. It's obviously difficult where you've got electricians, boat builders. We're working on the engine and all these things all at the same time. So at the moment, the electronics guys aren't here, so we're carrying on with some of the boat building in this compartment, but it all sort of swaps around all the time. So it's just sort of trying to manage those workflows. So in here we've got Graham's working on these panels. So you saw on the boat the 2 foil case structures really with to support the upper and lower bearings. These 2 panels here basically fill in the middle there, keep the water out. And you see those little wedges there are where we mount some sheaves for the downline, pup line, sorry, and some jammers go on there as well. So that's it for today. As I said, next couple of weeks there's some big lumps going back in the boat, and it will all start really sort of coming together visually after that. And yeah, hopefully launch in 6-8 weeks time.
The world's top match racing skippers returned to Long Beach this week for the 58th Congressional Cup Regatta, presented by Long Beach Yacht Club, and a premier event on the prestigious World Match Racing Tour. The Congressional Cup is one of the most regarded and long-running match racing events in the sailing world.
There are 10 teams that compete in the Congressional Cup. 8 of them are invited based on their status in the World Match Racing Tour rankings, and 2 of them qualify through the Ficker Cup, which was just completed last week. Well, not surprisingly, the teams that have been here the longest are also some of the favorites, like Ian Williams. He's won this event 5 times. If he wins this year, that'll be a record. No skipper has won it 6 times. Then you have Janni Berntsen from Sweden. He's now in his 13th Congressional Cup. He's won it once before. He's looking to topple Ian Williams as well. So I would think those 2 are definitely the, let's say, the most experienced match races that are here. But there are some young teams that are up and coming that are vying for the old guns, including Nick Egnott-Johnson from New Zealand. He just won the World Championship last year, so he's definitely one to watch as well.
We qualified through doing the California Dreaming Series, which we then won the previous year, which gave us a berth into the Ficker Cup. And then we came into Ficker Cup and were able to come away with the win, and so we qualified for Congressional Cup. Very excited. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to make it to Congressional Cup. Sailing with idols who I watched, on YouTube do kind of some match racing moves that I tried to learn, and it's an honor to be here.
Yeah, just super excited to be here, stoked to be on the start line. Yeah, hope to be improving a little bit each race and just enjoy the event. Yeah, I mean, definitely I think women aren't very well represented across the whole sport, so yeah, it's definitely a bit of an honour to be here, and hopefully in the years to come we can see more along for the ride. Yeah.